Well, good morning, everyone. It's great to have you with me on the Daily Intention. The Daily Intention is the show that is going to give you daily tips on business, personal development, and I forgot the last thing. Is that not funny? Business, personal development, and technology. There we go. Well, I can tell you today we're going to talk about two things. Number one, consistency, and number two, splurging. Now, why consistency? It is because I want to talk a little bit about what consistency means and what it means in theory versus reality. And what happened to me this week is that I tackled a lot of things at once. I don't know if you can relate to that, but I am the type of consistent person who needs to do things daily. I know a lot of entrepreneurs and professionals like to work with batch creation, meaning they do a lot of things at once, maybe on a Saturday, and then they are set for the rest of the week. That works great and is a great approach for a lot of businesses and a lot of processes. However, when it comes to honing my skills, when it comes to growing myself, my personality demands from me that I do things from scratch by hand every day. There's something magical to me in that repetition, which you can equate to a bodybuilder going to the gym every day and doing his or her reps. Arnold Schwarzenegger talks about that a lot. There was this foundational power that he found in doing repetitions every day. Now, what happens when you are of that type and you define consistency like that in you doing certain things every day? What happens is that sometimes life just throws you a curveball. And part of doing things every day in a consistent manner and having that as a goal is for you to push you to your boundaries of what is possible in your mindset, in your mental fortitude, in your time management skills, and in how you organize your environment. And if you do a good job at that, then you will indeed sometimes meet that boundary. And on some days, you will even be pushed across the boundary. And what does that mean then? Well, it means that you end up not doing what you had set out to do. And you just sometimes, because you are not superhuman, you fail in accomplishing a daily task that you're supposed to do daily. That was the case for me yesterday morning with the daily intention. There was no daily intention yesterday. It was only in my mind. It was not going out live for you. And I have two ways I could react to that right now. I could say, okay, that's it. I'm going to have to give up. Or I could say, today, look back at yesterday and analyze what was going on. Why was it missed? And when was I in a situation where I can give myself grace for having missed the daily intention? And even if I don't give myself grace, does that make a difference? Now, the importance is that you get up, dust yourself off, and you say, okay, well, I missed a day. but that doesn't give me the right to miss another day. Consistency does not mean you fill all the holes every single time. If you can pull that off, great. But consistency also means that you find the right level of grace for yourself so that you can live with your circumstances and still be regularly consistent with what matters in your life. And a lot of people don't do that. They don't do that in business. They don't do that in their personal lives. They don't do that in their spiritual lives. Once missed means this is an excuse to give up. Well, I happen to believe that is a huge weakness. And I hope you choose not to do that. The 75 Hard Challenge that I'm also doing right now, which consists of 2 workouts every day, 1 outside, following a healthy diet, drinking enough water, reading 10 pages in a non-fiction book every day, is also a perfect fit into this topic, right? Because what Andy Frisella, the father behind the challenge, says is that if you fail a day, you have to start over. And I just cannot help but believe that it was designed in a way where it is impossible to always meet 100% of the goals every single day. On some days, you're just gonna have one thing off by a minute. I know, I think so. And I think it is designed to teach you that it's never over. Because perfection in that way does not exist. Now, do some superhumans manage to do it? Probably. It depends a lot on your circumstances. Did I cut corners so far? Yeah, I had to. Like, I remember there was a workout where I stopped at minute 44 instead of 45. I don't know if I drank all the 1 gallon every day. Might have come in a little bit short. I know for sure that one day, when I was traveling with the plane, I read my book on the iPad, on the Kindle, instead of the physical book. Whereas he's very specific, it needs to be a physical book. So it taught me you're never done. But what is more important is that you don't stop doing and going on and on and on and on. And you realize that your mind is really, really powerful. Things that you did not think possible become a habit, such as getting up at 4 a.m., which is something that I have been doing for a while, but then also doing a workout in the first or second hour of the day was unthinkable for me. But I'm doing it now because of that challenge. And I don't think that I will ever stop the challenge. I don't know what comes after the first 75 days. I'm sure he has something up his sleeve that comes after it, and I'll do it. I don't think I'll ever stop doing it because it has given me so much. And most and foremost, it has taught me that you just, it's never done. And consistency doesn't mean that when you have a bump in the road in one day, you can kind of stop doing what you're doing the following day. Well, if you have any thoughts about that, please leave them in the chat for me. We're gonna not go quite as long today because I have stuff to prepare for a LinkedIn Leads challenge that I am running with Moray. It is the last day, and it was a pretty intense challenge, but the participants got great results. So that's what counts, right? So I'm gonna end this by telling you about a splurge, something I got myself this week. And here's why. It's because there should not be anything wrong with someone who works hard, affording something, and then showing that to the world without feeling bad, right? This is an exercise. This is an exercise for me of allowing you to see what I bought myself, and then hopefully inviting some people to not like that and disconnect, right? Because it is just so important that you understand whatever you are doing, whatever you're working hard for in life, you do it for yourself. There and nobody can be in a place to tell you you're not, for all of the hard work, you're not supposed to enjoy yourself. You're not supposed to play a little bit, right? So this is what I got myself this week, and I already love it. It's the new Apple Watch, but I went with like the top model. I think it's called Ultra 2. It's 800 bucks, and it looks absolutely gorgeous. Look at that design. It has a cellular card included, so I can leave my phone at home, go to the gym, work out, take calls, send texts, read emails, or listen to music. In the past, I had to have my phone with me. Now it's all on the watch. And it's engineered so beautifully. I love it. I love it. I haven't even tried all the features yet. This thing is a mini computer. I mean, it is brilliant. It has lots of weight. It's kind of heavy. And what I like a lot about it, it will make me stand out, right? When I'm in the crowd, most people will have the Apple Watches that are the models below. There's nothing wrong with that, right? But I like the idea that if someone sees that on my wrist, that it doesn't look like every other Apple Watch. By the way, I love Apple Watches. This thing at the beginning, I thought like, what is the use for that? Right? It's like you have everything on the phone. Why would you want to have it again on the wrist? And now I just cannot stop using it. It's so useful for me to have. By the way, to have the calendar on it. Um, Obviously, my days are largely directed by appointments, and I just love taking a glance at that modular face. And let me see if I can show it. So it has the time, it has the time in the US, it has the time in Europe, it has the temperature outside, and it has my upcoming appointments. Pretty neat watch, and I hope you can be happy for me with me, right? And if you're not, we shouldn't be connected at this point, right? And there's a lesson in that as well. A lot of people do not want your success. A lot of people are jealous. A lot of people say, "Well, this is kind of selfish. What a poser, whatever. What a self-centered person." And when it comes about being consistent and having success in life, those people should not be in your lives, right? So invite them out. Now, this is a side of me that you might not have seen yet. Um, and the reason is because I just chose to not talk about those things. But this is part of the real me. And I made a decision last week to show a little bit more authenticity, and in that way too, right? Because I'm really tired of always having these polished public personas. It's not doing anything. Is if you do that, you just coast along in life. You're not really making a statement that will drive people in a certain direction that will impact people. And after all, that's why we do all of this, right? Okay, well, that's it for today. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. For most of you in the US, it's the start. Some of you in Europe, it's the afternoon, and yet others, maybe you're getting ready to go to bed. The weekend is ahead of us. Make sure you rest a little bit, have some fun, and I'll be sending you love, joy, and happiness from San Antonio, Texas. Do leave me your comments in the chat, and I will make sure we are connected if we are not already. This is it with the Daily Intention. I'll be back on Monday at 7 a.m. Central Time. And thank you all for being along on the journey with me. Bye for now.